Hi, I'm doing a review on this Timex LCA watch that has recently been put back into production. I basically love these old retro style watches. Always been a fan of them throughout my childhood and in the 90s. Watches these days seem to be absolutely enormous. They're about 15mm thick, and I just really love this slimline retro style that seems to be coming back into fashion. So this retails at the moment at £135, which is really high for what the watch is. Basically, you've just got basic stopwatch, countdown timer, and your basic alarm. And so they're really asking an extraordinary amount of money. And they've also been a lot of quality issue problems with these, which I'll cover. The first one being the displays, and the printed background onto the LCD is crooked and it's rotated slightly clockwise. And I've purchased about 5 of these watches and sent every single one back. And there was a time when they actually stopped all selling of these watches and had to recall all the stock and rectify this problem. However, this is one of the new batches from all that lot that they've rectified, and it's still slightly crooked. I'm going to try and just zoom in and put a bit of light on so you can actually see. But I mean, it's 99% there, but it's still, as you can just about make out, it's still rotated clockwise. And you can see the printed lines at the bottom of the screen. Again, they're on this side, they're slightly higher by about sort of 0.5 mil, and they just can't get it right. So basically I've just given up, and I'm just going to make do with this one. This is actually because I had so much problem returning the watches and getting ones back with other quality issues, which I'll go into. They actually gave me this one free of charge, which is extremely nice. So I'm more than happy there, but kind of a little bit disappointed with a brand like Timex that they can't produce a watch with something so basic as getting a display lined up. But as you can see, the graphics are lined up. But yeah, it's just this printed area here on the background. Now, something you should watch out for when buying one of these is when they do all the rework on these watches, because this has a snap-on back on the watch, you'll find they had someone who's really heavy-handed, and where you insert this the tool to unclip the back, they've gone ahead and scratched a lot of the watches on this back of the strap and on the plating on the watch. So again, yeah, that was another couple of watches I had to return until they finally got one that hadn't done that. And on one of the faulty ones that I had, I removed the back plate just to see underneath, and these watches have a ginormous battery. I mean, it's literally, it's almost the diameter of the whole back plate. So I'm just wondering how long that battery would last in this watch, whether it would be 10 years. But yeah, they're an absolutely enormous battery. And this watch, it does specify that it's waterproof, but I wouldn't recommend that, like going in the sea or a swimming pool or anything with them, because these snap-on backs, they don't really have a sort of watertight seal. Because over time, when you've had the back off and replaced batteries, you're kind of wearing away that edge where it clips onto and the rubber seal. When they went with this reissue model, they really should have gone with a screwed down back, like most of the watches have. And yeah, I mean, another quality issue I noticed is basically the consistency of the buttons. For instance, the one on the now I could say I've got OCD, but the one for the light is slightly crooked on all the watches. It's not straight like these other ones here, as you can see, and you have to push the buttons in an awful long way just to change the mode. And there you've got stopwatch, and then that's time set, back to time. Now okay, so watch your eyes, because I'm going to blind you with this light that they've replaced the original bulb with a LED one. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just being sarcastic. It's absolutely pathetic. Even in the dark, you can, all you can see is effectively the date, depending on what day of the week it is, and you know, as the seconds going by, you can't even read the actual hour or the minutes hardly. So I don't know why they wouldn't have gone with a sort of indigo background, and yeah, as I say, just had a screwed on back, because they probably make this watch at cost for about sort of I don't know, less than $10 probably, but it is sort of, yeah, crystal glass and stainless steel. But yeah, just make sure you check your watch when you purchase it, and just look at all the strap, because for the money that they're charging, it's just not acceptable to receive one with scratches all over it. So as I'm a fan of these kind of retro style watches, another make you should have a look at is one called Skmei, and it's a company in China, and they make lots of similar style watches. And this model here is a model 1735, and this is again pretty much very similar. It's all stainless steel, chrome plating, and crystal glass, scratch proof screen as well. And the quality, so I bought these in from China. I bought quite a few of them, and I've been selling some on eBay, and they're about around about £20. That's about $25, $26 to get in at cost after you've paid the postage and everything. But these are extremely well made, these watches, and they make lots of other styles if you look on their website. And yeah, as you can see here, you've got a proper sort of watertight screwed down back plate. It has all the functions that this one basically does. And if you look at the if you compare the light on this one, I mean, it will literally light up a small area of a dark room, whereas this thing, as I just showed you, is just does nothing. So at the price of this being £20 versus this at $135, I would definitely recommend, if you were going to use a watch for, you know, a daily usage, you go for this Skmei, because, as I say, it's the only other one I can see out there on the market that's a sort of similar style. And they do it, if you're into your sort of retro gold finish, they do one in gold, and they do one in black. And it's not the plating that they use on here is not some sort of cheap stuff that chips away and just peels off. Like you could probably think, you know, for the amount of money you're paying, it, you know, it just lasts, it stays on there. Because I've had these watches for several years, other models, and they last. You know, I've sold them on, and they still look like new. So yeah, I highly recommend, you know, if you want to spend less money, buying one of these Skmei 1735 model, and hopefully Timex will reduce the price, no doubt, on these LCA reissues, and they'll become more affordable for many people. And I think they're going to have to claw back a lot of money though, because they've obviously had to have these displays all reworked. And if you look at the reviews online, people have really given it a hard time about this crooked display. But that's it.